Morgan, thank you. Arvind Krishna, CEO of IBM. Good to have you here. So you're with the president yesterday at the White House. Did you leave there feeling the same, better, or worse about his strategy here with the economy?
Much better. He was engaged. He was listening. He wanted to really leverage technology and innovation. And an aspect I wasn't expecting, but that really excited me. He also wanted to talk about how technology can be used to modernize government and to really improve how government serves citizens. I think that is exciting.
So what does that mean for a company like IBM, whose message is very much about how AI, how data transformation can drive efficiency, including in government?
Look, it's the same message for government as we would have for our large business clients. We believe that AI is a massive productivity enabler. I like the McKinsey estimate, which is about $4 trillion by the end of the decade in terms of annual productivity. The vast majority of that accrues back to the deployer of AI. Some of it will come to the inventors and people who sort of provide the technology. But I think it's time right now. Get started on the low-risk use cases, then move to the middle risk, and then some of the more advanced use cases are probably still a few years away. But customer service, enterprise operations, supply chain, procurement, I think all of those are here and now.
Okay. Well, arguably, some of that positive impact is in the medium term. In the near term now, we are seeing names like Teradyne today saying that some of this economic and market uncertainty is freezing their customers from actually taking action and ordering. Do you expect to see more of that? Are you seeing any of that in your ecosystem?
Look, always when there's uncertainty in the overall economic environment, but I'll be candid, I think that's short term, that's not medium to long term. When there is short-term uncertainty, people tend to pause, not stop, just pause for a few weeks until they have a better handle on their own demand. Once they get a sense of their own demand, then they're going to leverage it. I actually think most technology is going to have a smaller impact than other areas because technology is actually a counterbalance to the uncertainty. You can have costs that are not all around other fixed costs, and you can leverage the technology to handle the uncertainty a little bit.
Is that really a way of saying, hey, if it pencils out, if a CFO can reasonably expect, okay, if I implement this, here's what I'll be able to save, that sort of spending is more likely to go through even in this environment?
100%. We've seen this many, many times before. If we can show them how technology can help them automate their infrastructure, how it can help them put their workloads on the right place, if we can help reduce some of the complicated and complex use cases which require very expensive labor, those use cases, people will keep doing even through uncertain times.
Let's talk about public-private partnership. We were just on stage with Illinois' Governor, J.B. Pritzker, talking about their move toward quantum and providing space and a development environment for that. IBM is a part of that. How much of that goes through, gets built, gets invested in this kind of environment?
I think a huge amount. Watch what has happened in the last 40 years. Those who choose to invest when they think times are uncertain means 3, 4, 5 years from now is when those investments pay off. So for areas that are still nascent, you got to start early. And that's what Illinois and Governor Pritzker are doing. They're starting on quantum now, then hoping that as it takes off, they have the skills, they have the employee base, and they become the place that by the end of the decade, people are going to want to flock to be able to exploit quantum.
By the end of the decade, not 15 years for quantum to pay off?
Not 15 years. By the end of the decade, we're going to see quantum utility happening, meaning there are going to be use cases around materials, maybe drug discovery, around financial risk optimization use cases that are going to be surprising.
You're about to do some global travel. How are you seeing other geographies across where you do business kind of reacting to this environment? How are their economies holding up?
I was just in the Middle East a few weeks ago. I would say their economies are booming. Yes, oil prices go up and down, but despite that, their economies are booming as they're choosing to industrialize and diversify what is happening there. If you look at India, I think we would all hope for 6% growth. When they see 6, they call it slowing down because 8 is what they want. When I see Japan, Japan's in a better place today than it has been for the last 30 years. These are just 3 quick examples. Then you can say Indonesia, you can say Mexico, you can say Singapore. They're all places where there's a lot of optimism.